Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Thomas Jefferson said, "If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done." Benjamin Franklin said, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." Basically, get off your duff, get to working, you've got dreams, you've got goals, you've got to do what it takes to get them. Like, subscribe, comment, show what your opinion is. Let me know if you like what you've seen. And I thank you for your support. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. If you like what you see here, or would like to get to talk to me on social media, I've got my link tree down below. You can also help me out via my Patreon. We're going to review the book Atomic America by Todd Tucker, How a Deadly Explosion and a Feared Admiral Changed the Course of Nuclear History. This book gives a lot of history into not just the Navy, but also into what the Army was attempting to do with nuclear generators and what the Air Force was attempting to do with a nuclear plane. Now, let me tell you, you're going to learn a lot if you read this book on Hyman Rickover. Interesting man. I would say a true American hero. You also will learn why we should be a little worried that the Army is talking about creating nuclear plants on their bases again. So let's get into it. Now, we're going to start with Hyman Rickover in the Navy. Hyman Rickover, even though he was a Naval Academy graduate, was an outsider. Commanded a ship, but was primarily an engineering officer. And when he got the chance to learn about nuclear matters from folks that had worked on the Manhattan Project, he saw a clear path. And we see it today. Down in Charleston, they have a large nuclear school for all the nuclear Navy. And that continues on to this day on being a program that is well run. There's never been an accident on a nuclear vessel that's American. Deadly serious. This is one of those things that should show people how to actually run nuclear programs. But at the same time, he didn't actually like nuclear. He saw it as a necessary evil. So this man really did a lot with what his opinions were. So let's talk about the Army. The Army created nuclear power plants, and instead of running them in a serious manner, which they should have, they didn't. They instead had very little officer supervision. These officers never really were there, and it was left to enlisted men who only had 8 months of training, plus whatever experience they gained while working on the nuclear reactor that they were at. These men were given way too many tasks to accomplish. And so we had an accident in Utah called the SL-1 plant. This book uncovers what really happened, gets rid of the myths that are said about this explosion and the fallout, and it truly shows why we should wonder what they're going to do with nuclear plants now that they're talking about re-establishing that as a program with the Army. Because if they run it the same way, then that's bad for everybody. But hey, that's the Army and bureaucracy for you. The Air Force were going a decidedly different route because they saw how well that Rickover's nuclear navy was going. They thought, oh, we'll do nuclear-powered jets. Never mind the fact that it was spewing out nuclear radiation from the jets. and the damage that it could cause. They also spent $1 billion over about 11, 12 years before Kennedy killed the program. Eisenhower wanted to, but he kept getting attacked, and he finally said, let's just leave it to Kennedy to decide. They spent almost $1 billion and did nothing. They were not able to do anything except create jet engines that spewed nuclear fallout behind them. They did test a nuclear reactor up in the air, and that was, well, just 48 launches that were just of no use whatsoever. So basically, the nuclear air force turned out to be a dud that wasted $1 billion, and we're talking in the 50s when this happened. That is how long ago it was and how much of a waste it was. But like I said before, bureaucracy. So, if you want a chance to learn about history and our U.S. military, nuclear reactors, that is, not nuclear weapons, this is a good book. It goes over history in a way that I have to admit, I learned so much from this book. It gave me so much knowledge as to what our military has done when it comes to nuclear power. Hyman Rickover, yes, got a little too big in the head, but what he did, what he accomplished was amazing. The Army and the Air Force, not so much. But these are amazing books, or this is an amazing book to pay attention to and to read through. Todd Tucker did an excellent job, and he covered topics that I never would have even thought of looking into. So, good book, read it, well worth the read. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. If you liked the video, if you want to hear more about books or my thoughts on different issues that happen, check out my videos and subscribe. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're conservative, I don't care if you're liberal, I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.